Ayo, friends, welcome back to a brand new week, a brand new episode of In Madness, which these little mid episodes may be rebranded to a different name. We'll get that in a second, but it's Shawn the Butcher here with Vertebrae33 in Madness Pod. What's going on?
What's happening, Shawn? These are exciting times we're living in. This podcast is about to shift again, one more time, and I am super excited. So, first thing, Shawn, first thing I'll say is you and I text each other, and we often say the same things to each other when we text. So, backstory part of this discussion was kind of altering a little bit on how we guide these episodes along for people. And my thought was it's time to move on from the ridiculously numbered system because we're not giving ourselves credit here for these episodes. And I go on and I hear podcasts bragging about we're at our 50th episode and our 75th episode, right? And we're mired in 0.7529s. So we have done 111 total episodes. So right now, as of this time, you are listening to the 112th episode of In
Of
Madness Pod.
the premier podcast, In Madness Pod, on the socials at In Madness Pod, at gmail.com to hit us in the mail sack. We are dipping in today, reading your emails. Check us out on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment. Give us the 5-star review. Make sure you actually do those things. Don't just sit there and be like, yeah, Shawn, we got you. We'll like and comment and leave the 5-star reviews and then never do it. Make sure you do it because it helps you and it helps us. Check out the In Madness Spotify playlist. We will be adding music to it in this episode. We add music to it in every episode. Sometimes I'm sitting around and I'm like, you know what? I feel like I should add this song to the In Madness Spotify playlist, even if we don't really talk about it. And I add it to the In Madness Spotify playlist. Happy In Madness Monday, if that's when you're listening. We drop a new episode every single Monday, no matter how hectic life gets for you, for me, if you're listening, for everybody going crazy with work, everybody going crazy with family, everybody going crazy with just life in general. In Madness Monday is your escape. The day of the week that usually sucks is now the best day of the week to look forward to. Every Monday is In Madness Monday. Spread the madness worldwide. Tell everyone you know about this show. You can represent with a shirt or a mug. Get them both at inmadness.com. And what mug do you have for this episode, Vertebrae?
So, before we jumped on, I was telling you I went to get some more bookshelves and some other stuff for the house and spent a little time at IKEA. So, of course, Shawn, I had to buy a mug. So I got this nice blue speckled with the brown rim, because you can't go somewhere that sells mugs without purchasing one of them. So
Do you have a mug account?
What do you mean a mug account?
Do you know like how many mugs you have?
A mug count. I thought you said a mug account, and I was like, that's exciting. A place you would have an account where you purchase mugs. I don't. I should count them. It's gotten out of control. It's certainly gotten out of control, but this podcast doesn't help, Shawn.
I think you have as many mugs as we have episodes. So 112. This right now is 112.
Yeah, this is 112. Doesn't it sound so impressive when we say it like that?
So this is it. As of this moment, we are done with the point system, and we will go strictly from 112 to 113 to 114 like normal human beings.
And here's the thing. Somebody who's joining this podcast late, they're going to be like, they were on episode 43.5 and now it's 112. What? I don't understand what happened. I'm not sure what happened. So it is what it is. I think it's time. It's perfectly time for a change, Shawn. I think we needed to do this. I think because now we can celebrate milestones with each other. We get to our 150th episode and certainly a big event for our 200th episode. I think that's, and for selfish reasons, get to the 333rd episode of this pod. Like, how incredible would that be, right? Yeah. Get to the
our key.
606th episode of this podcast. But do you want to tell them what we're going to be calling these episodes, Shawn?
So our 0.5s
Mm-hmm.
are now. So we were texting in this text thread you and I were having where we text the same thing. You came up with this idea, and I didn't feel like fighting you on it because I felt like it was when you told me how many episodes we realistically had. I'm like, he's right. We should, like, I feel like fighting to get to 50, and we've already so far surpassed 50.
Yeah.
Because of my stupid numbering system. It was a gag to begin with. It sort of worked for while it was working.
I loved it. I
Yes.
don't dislike it. It's just we now have impressively done so many episodes, and I think we
So
should
2.5 years in, you're like, I feel like we should go with regular numbers, and I'm like, cool. And you're like, forget about 0.5s. Forget. Let's maybe rename, rebrand, refocus on these just middle episodes. You're still listening to In Madness podcast. So what we are taking you and doing with you is bringing you inside the madness. So this will be Inside Madness, our middle ground episodes where in between movies, it's still the 0.5 our old school veterans here on In Madness Pod. It's still the middle episode where me and Vert just kind of sit here and dick off and talk about whatever is currently going on right now, whether it be in our lives or whether it be some like movie we're going to cover or some trailer dropped or a new book comes out or a comic or John Carpenter's coming to town. Something going on. We're talking about it in these Inside Madness episodes.
Yeah, and we text each other, and we both text at the same exact time because I said, like, well, what do we call, or you said, what do we call them? And at the same exact time, we wrote Inside Madness to each other, and you're like, well, that's it. So there it is. Inside
Conversation
Madness
is over.
We need to get a drop for this, Shawn, though. We need like a sound effect or something, like I don't know, like just like I don't know, like a screech or something.
I'll try and premiere it on the next Inside.
I just give you more work to do.
Yeah, I know. I was like, thank you. Yes. Maybe I'll link up with Lepardo, who made our intro. Maybe we could do like a different sort of Inside Madness. Ooh, maybe we have like a different intro for the Inside Madness episode.
Maybe like a creaky door that opens up and you kind of hear some stuff you're coming inside.
I do like when I put the samples from whatever movie we're covering over the intro for our movie episodes. I don't know. I feel like just having the lone intro with no clips on it, so you get the full.
Yeah, so maybe that's like the Inside Madness. Maybe at the end though, it's just you going Inside Madness.
Cute, sexy. Call me now, 1-800 Inside Madness. It's far too many numbers, but it'll start ringing when it gets to the correct amount.
All right. So what are we doing on this?
So I want to recap a couple things. I want to recap a couple things. I was listening to our Escape from New York episode, which I loved. I love that episode. I love that movie. I love posting about it on our socials. So much cool stuff. But I want to ask you a couple of things because I didn't ask you for some reason in the podcast. I don't know why. And I feel like that would be these Inside Madness episodes to be like, oh, I forgot to bring this up in our previous thing.
Sure.
You said John Carpenter and Kurt Russell were both laughing in the
director's
commentary because both of their ex-wives were in this movie. John Carpenter was married to the smoking hot Adrienne Barbeau, who was Kurt Russell married to.
I don't know. Now I don't remember. Oh my God. I had it on my brain. So this is where this format falls apart because it was all in my temporary.
You were brain and you just blew it.
Oh my God. That was my shining gnarly bit moment. And it just got crushed. I knew when we were doing it and now I cannot remember.
Yeah. I mean, I put you on the spot, but yeah, I was wondering, I was like, who the hell was Kurt Russell's ex-wife in Escape from New York?
Let's look it up.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, also while you're looking it up, I also had another a random just question for you that I noticed at the end of the movie. Snake rescues the president, President Loomis.
Yeah.
I voted for him. President Loomis offers Snake anything he wants. It's yours. What do you want? Snake doesn't ask for anything. He just says, you know, a lot of people died in there. Just want to know how you feel about it. However, Vertebrae 33, you take your ass into New York. You save the president. You bring out President Loomis. He offers you anything you want. What are you asking for?
Oh man, that's to be left alone. No.
Let me live in Area 51.
Yeah, just clear the island and, you know, stock it with books and leave me alone. No. I don't know, man. I think just like maybe my own island somewhere. Just give me an island, set me up. I don't have to work. I just hang out. Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome to me. What about you, Shawn?
I don't want to pay taxes ever again.
No taxes, of
I don't
course.
want to have to pay my credit card bills ever again.
Yeah.
And like not crazy credit card bills, just like your normal scumbag person credit card bills. I'm not like gambling and in debt with like, you know, friggin' DraftKings or whatever, with spending my life savings on like the Knicks or whatever. Just regular human person bills. I don't want to have to pay my bills. I don't want to have to pay taxes. I'll go to work. I don't mind working. Working's all right. Working gives me a purpose. If I didn't work, I don't know what I would do. An island sounds cool. I like to visit. I'll visit Vertebrae's island. He'd be like Andy Dufresne.
Right.
I'll come visit him with the boat. We'll fix it. But like, yeah, I'll
Down
come
at
back.
Sewantaneo. But I don't want to have to spend any actual money. Like I don't want to go somewhere and get a cup of coffee and have to exchange money for it. Like I want to have a system in place where like I just walk in and say I'd like a cup of coffee and they just give me a cup of coffee.
Well, I mean, is it
You
like
know?
Apple Pay or something?
I don't even want to have to do that. I don't want to carry a wallet. I don't even want pants in my pocket. I'm going to sew all my pants shut. Don't
It
bother me.
feels like
All
you
my
just need a
pockets
guy.
closed.
Like you stay in the car and the guy goes in. You just need like a boss. You
No,
need an
because he's gonna
Alfred.
get it wrong. I don't want, and then I have to talk to him in the car in between visit. I don't want to be
Well, you're
like,
paying him, so you don't have to do anything you don't want to
I
do.
know, but then like, let's say he's sick one day or something happens in his family, then I have to
Oh no,
pretend
then
that
you're gonna deal with the substitute driver.
or also like I
Oh,
have to pretend that I care and listen and pay attention. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at
I
all.
don't want
I
to
think
have to give a shit.
I think just being able to drift places and go and like, you know, I think it should be like almost like this is an all-inclusive deal. Like, yeah, you live on this island, but like if I want to go to Disney, I just call somebody, call the man, and the plane lands on the island, picks me and my family up. We
Call
go to
Hauk.
Disney. We
Yeah.
go to Disney and the hours that no one else is there. And we walk around and rides all the ride. Hey, Shawn, meet us there. We'll hang out, you know, that type of thing. You know, I'm gonna pick some buddies up and we're gonna go somewhere on a jet airplane. I think that's what I'd want. I
You're
wouldn't
like,
want to have to think about those little things. Because like then too, do you tip? Am I leaving money? Like people know who you are, so they have the little jar at the counter when you get the coffee. Anything you put there is going to be cheap, right? Because they know
you're the guy.
you're the guy. But here's the thing, though, Shawn. In the context of that film, like they're in World War III. So I don't even know. Like I don't know that you'd want to be on an island during that context. In general, yeah, but like I don't know. Then you have no protection and stuff.
You know what I'd
Yeah.
want? Godzilla.
You want you want him to make you a Godzilla?
Well, yes, and I want him to just and be my bodyguard. So I could live on my island with me and Godzilla and nobody can fuck with me.
Yeah, but he's so big. He would just destroy your island.
Well, no, I mean he's got his own spot on the island. It's a big island. I don't need a whole fucking island. I just want the island because I'm greedy. But like he can have like 70% of the island. I'm fine with 30% of an island. Just give me a beach and I'm cool.
Yeah. Would you still do the podcast?
Man. I mean, yeah, I'd have a lot more time on my hands. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, I think I would want to be carried to the podcast. Like I'd be like have everything set up, and that what is that like a Wu-Tang song? I don't walk, I get carried. Is that a line in the Wu-Tang song? I think.
Probably.
But like I think I just want somebody to like carry me to this seat, and then they just sit me down in a little blanket, and you know what I mean, like it's nice
Feed
and
you
comfy.
grapes.
Yeah.
Royalty. Vertebrae
Yeah.
wants royalty. The President Loomis asks what you want. I want to be royalty on my
But then
own.
I don't want I don't want like helpers around though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to see it.
Self-maintaining. You need a self-maintaining island.
Yeah. Do you remember the Spider-Man and his amazing friends cartoon?
Yeah, of course.
Like Iceman and whatever. But he had like that room that was like there would be like clean furniture, and then it would like flip over, and there'd be all like the equipment underneath of it and stuff like that. I want a room like that, except like it flips over and there's just nothing. You know, you have the couch and the bookshelf, just flip it over and it's an empty space. Sort of sounds like a padded cell, I guess, but it is the first Inside Madness episode. So
and I also love that the poster for Escape from New York is the gigantic Liberty head in the street, and that is not even close to a scene in the movie, but it like sets it up with such hype. I'm glad that they actually pulled it off in Cloverfield.
So Shawn, you asked, and I found out for you because I wanted to not leave us hanging. Do you have a guess on who Kurt Russell's wife was in the film?
Russell's wife was? I mean, how many other women were in the movie? Oh, chock full of nuts, girl.
Yes,
it has to be. Who else? There's no other women in the movie. It's Adrienne Barbeau and chock full of nuts, girl.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I'm already digging these Inside Madness episodes. Great. Fantastic.
We can get caught up on stuff too. You know, it's also funny. I remember from that episode is we were talking about President Loomis and how many times he shot him. And like
it was 7.
6.
6. Oh, well, yeah. I shot him 6 times, but he actually
shot him 6 times.
But in the movie, he shoots him 7 with a 6-barrel gun.
Yeah, but he says I shot him 6 times. I shot him
6 times. Yeah. I messed up. I think I said 7 in our Escape from New York episode.
As I saw it because like our buddy Spooky Speak made a comment.
Oh
on the thing, and he said
he voted. Yeah, he voted
for him 6 times, and I was like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh crap!
Damn it, I screwed it up.
Damn it, we messed up. We didn't think of it. But here's the other thing too: is people don't know about this podcast. We take notes for things, but we do not write scripts, and we do not edit. I can count on one hand the number of times we've actually edited things out of this podcast. Correct, Shawn? We run straight
emails and me fucking things up and getting lost in my notes, and
it's all real. So I hear people talk about re-recording bits in their episodes and getting everything, crafting it perfectly. You're getting something from us that you don't get from a lot of podcasts.
Raw.
This is it. This is pure. If I'm going to bring up Spider-Man and his amazing friends, Shawn has no idea what's going on in my brain. I don't know what's going on in there either. But this is what's happening right now.
I have one more thing before I get to emails or anything that you wanted to talk about.
Okay.
The Damned. The first movie we covered this year that we teased because it wasn't even in theaters yet. And then when it came out in theaters, I'll be honest, it was playing in one theater in Queens, and like it was at a ridiculous time. So I don't think it got like the cinematic masterpiece release that it like really deserved. It is available now on Hulu. I watched it again a couple of days ago. It still rocks hard. Watch The Damned right now on Hulu, and then go check out our first episode of this year where we covered The Damned from a screener we got, our very first screener, and without spoiling anything, we covered what is a phenomenal movie. And definitely going to be a yearly watch for me as long as it's on Hulu, because I don't have a hard copy of it. So I guess I'm screwed.
Yeah. And, you know, I think that movie, maybe they just didn't have the marketing budget for it. It did get a little bit of a buzz, like in the interviews and stuff with the director. But I feel like if you haven't seen that movie, you're really missing out. That movie, we said it when we did the episode, kind of encompasses a lot of what we've talked about.
It's the thing. It's 7. It's God, I don't know. It's a
It has
bunch
a
of
little bit of there's a little bit of Eggers into it. It's got Arctic horror. It's rolled in weirdness, unexplained things. Like it's just perfect for this
isolation.
podcast.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I love it. What else did you want to bring up? Did you have anything you want to bring up for
So
Inside Madness?
I did because I messed up. Well, I didn't mess up, but we start this book club, and my job is to talk about the books that I'm gonna read or are reading, and then kind of tell people about it, right? Well, the last book I was supposed to be reading after I finished it was All the Fiends of Hell. But then I started to read it and I was getting into it, but then it hit me that I really wanted to get through Stephen Graham Jones' Indian Lake trilogy. So, in true vertebrae fashion, I bought and own all three books. So the first one is My Heart is a Chainsaw. The second one is Don't Fear the Reaper. And the third one is The Angel of Indian Lake. And what happened, Shawn? I just listened to the audiobooks. So I have blitzed through book 1 and 2 of the Indian Lake trilogy, and I'm on book 3, a few hours into it. And these Stephen Graham Jones this is not news to anybody who's read him before, but is just an incredible writer. I really want to get him on here. He rolls in that same crew with John Langan and Paul Tremblay, and we brought him up before on the podcast with Langan. It's a slasher trilogy, but kind of turned on its head a little bit. But one of the things, and this is not giving anything away, but the main character, Jade or Jennifer Daniels, in the first book, she spends a lot of time looking through life and looking at life through a slasher lens. So she's just sort of talking in her own head and being like, oh, that's like whatever movie from 1974, or that's like whatever slasher from 63, which was the whatever. And it's just amazing. It's actually like I almost had to like write stuff down because I'm like, I never even heard of that movie. And is that good? But it doesn't bog the story down at all. And this story gets insane. And I know book 2 was really, really wild, but a lot of stuff got thrown into book 2, and all I've heard is that book 3 brings all of that back to a resolution. So I'm going to get through book 3 and we could talk about it more. Stephen Graham Jones, incredible writer, Native American writer who rolls a lot of that into his books and his viewpoints. And so there's a lot of sort of statements on society and things like that in here as well, but just incredibly written. And when you hear him talk in interviews, these books make even more sense because he writes very similar to how he talks. And he's such a natural writer. His new book, Buffalo Hunter, dropped, and I have a signed edition sitting over there on my shelf. And we'll have to see whether I actually physically read the book or do the audiobook. But what I did do for this, Shawn, is some nights I would do both the audiobook and the book at the same time. And I got it to work because I sped up the audio by just a hair, because you read faster than they're reading for impact in the story. And it kind of synced. So it was like take you back to school, but I'm reading a slasher instead. But yeah, these 3 books, the Indian Lake trilogy, absolutely the first 2 incredible books, absolutely incredible. And a few hours into book 3, and I'm hooked. Like I can't stop listening to it. I clean the kitchen every night listening to books, and my kitchen has been spotless because I want to just keep cleaning things because I want to listen to more of the books. So I recommend it to anybody, and definitely want to have him on. We'll see if we can get a hold of him and have him on, Stephen Graham Jones. But check those out. So I'm sorry if anyone was like, "Oh, how is All the Fiends of Hell?" We will get to All the Fiends of Hell. I'm almost done this book.
I don't have it ready right now, but I'll add it in post-production. That was Vertebrae33's In Madness Book Club.
Yeah, that was an impromptu one, but I felt bad because I'm saying I'm reading this and then I just flipped the script on it. But
shall we now hit our other stinger and dip into the mail sack? Mail sack.
Woo, woo.
So out of the hundreds upon thousands of emails that we get on a daily basis from the psychopaths all around the world, the members of the In Madness family who are obsessed and crazed with this podcast, dipping into the mail sack, we have a couple here to read. We have a two-parter from our buddy Tom Henderson.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Tom Henderson says he loved the Nosferatu episode.
Nice.
He said he loves Typo Negative.
Mm-hmm.
He is baffled that we did not add the Typo Negative Christmas song, which is also one of my favorite songs of all time from Typo Negative and of all time in general. Red Water, Christmas Morning.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I swung so hard and missed that I blew my
Sorry,
back out.
Tom. Sorry, Tom. We messed that one up.
That is, I mean, easily my favorite Typo Negative song. I said Who Will Save the Sane, but it's not Who Will Save the Sane. It's Red Water, Christmas Morning, and Wolf Moon, and Who Will Save the Sane. So this is my reminder to thank you, Tom, for reminding us. We will now add much later. I like to keep things succinct. I like to have all the Typo Negative songs in a row. That will not be happening for this one because they will be super after. But I listened to the In Madness playlist on random anyway, so the songs just jump everywhere. But like, I mean, I just want like recently I added so much stuff. What did we just add? We added, oh God, okay, so we added Posse on Broadway for the freaks on Broadway throwing stuff at the car. Okay, we added Michael Jackson's Thriller for the sewer people because I feel like zombies crawl out of the sewer in the Thriller video. Okay, we talked about I didn't. This is what I was thinking, listening to the episode, thinking I'm going to add this, and we didn't talk about it, but we kind of grazed over it. Escape from L.A., the sequel to Escape from New York. I was obsessed with the Escape from L.A. soundtrack. They would play a White Zombie song called "The One" constantly on the radio. I don't know why, but it rules. And I remember going to The Wiz to buy the Escape from LA soundtrack because The Wiz had CDs for like $10 when they were like $16 to $18 everywhere else. And I bought that Escape from LA soundtrack, and I probably put this White Zombie song, The One, on like a mixtape because every other, I think, song on the soundtrack is like garbage, not for me. But this White Zombie song, The One, is phenomenal, and I haven't listened to it in probably 25 years, and it like sparked like the idea as I was listening to it. So I found it and I added it to the In Madness Spotify playlist, as I will also be adding Red Water, Christmas Morning from Typo Negative. So that's part one of Tom's email. Thank you, Tom. Now,
nice. You know what, Shawn? We should steal their catchphrase. Nobody's using it anymore. Nobody beats the Wiz. It'd just be nobody beats In Madness podcast. Nobody. I mean, you could do that little dance. I'm the Wiz from Seinfeld.
Like the premiere podcast is less.
The premiere podcast is perfect, but like nobody beats In Madness podcast could be like another little stinger, another little jab. You know, I still desperately want to have podcast beef with somebody, Shawn.
There's Nobody Beats the Biz from Biz Marquee. Nobody beats the Biz.
Oh, you should add that to the playlist. See, there you go.
Biz Marquee's a legend. Okay, Tom Henderson says, my escape from New York, gnarly bits. Ready? You asked for a long one, Vertebrae, so you got one. It's not terribly long. Hey, yo, Dr. Butcher. And greetings to my fellow Star Wars lover, Vertebrae33 and or Season 2 is dope as fuck, Tom says.
Agreed.
Thanks so much for the great two-parter on John Carpenter's masterpiece, Escape from New York. Thank you. I just want to pass along a few of my own personal gnarly bits about the film. First, the voiceovers in the film, including the opening narration, were done by none other than Jamie Lee Curtis.
Unconfirmed. Yes. So they have never come out and said it. She's not listed as the person. There's a different name, and there's a lot of people who have theories, and that was in my notes, but it's something that's like not been confirmed by anybody. So, Tom, I'm not telling you that that's not true. I'm just saying it's out there. And when you Google it, it comes up that that's the case. But when you just dig a little deeper, her and John have never, maybe they never will say it out loud. But um, yeah, that's a good one.
Second, Carpenter named 2 characters in the film after famous film directors. Okay, before I even read the rest of this was in my notes as well. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
bring it up, and I'm glad I didn't bring it up because Tom's about to bring it up. These were my notes for this Inside Madness episode, not for the Escape from New York original episode, but as we
Okay.
were discussing it and talking about it, I was like, both of those dudes' names are famous directors. So he says, second, Carpenter named 2 characters after famous directors. Crazy Hair. His name is Romero,
Mm-hmm. There's
possibly
George
named
Romero.
after
Yeah.
George Romero, Night of the Living Dead. He says we should absolutely cover Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. Another character is Cronenberg,
Yep.
named after
David
David
Cronenberg.
Cronenberg.
Mm-hmm.
Scanners, The Fly, another 2 movies that Tom recommends we cover. Oh, we should do The Fly soon. Get some Goldblum up in this mother effer. I could do my finest Goldblum impression. That wasn't that great. Third, the man Snake encountered in the theater who was getting beat up and called himself the president because he had the tracking device on was George Buck Flower, who has appeared in 5 Carpenter films: The Fog, Escape from New York, Starman, They Live, and Village of the Damned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they talk about that on the commentary. Actually, they bring that up on the commentary. I didn't have it in my notes, but I remember them talking about them.
Finally, my favorite gnarly bit of all, every single character that says to Snake, I heard you were dead, ends up dead by the end of the film. Such a
That's
great twist.
very cool. Oh, that's very cool. That I didn't know at all.
Yeah,
Tom,
we
great
counted
work.
5, and there were 5 deaths. Yeah,
That's fantastic.
yeah, yeah. And Crazy Hair Brain killed Crazy Hair, so he didn't say that to Snake, and Snake
Mm,
didn't kill him. Look at that. That's all my gnarly bits. But I did have one more thing. It's a request for a future T-shirt design. Could we get a Shawn facts front and a list of facts underneath it?
mm.
You could slap an In Madness logo on it on the back or something. Just an idea. Love all the Shawn facts. Always look forward to
Sure.
hearing them. Thank you. Yes. As
16 Chapel is number 1, I think.
16 Chapel. Yeah, there was a couple of other ones.
Here's the
As
thing, Tom. Here's your homework. You want that shirt? I will design that shirt. But I do not know all the Sean facts. So if you go back and you give me all the Sean facts, I will make that shirt. Matter of
I'm
fact, you give me the Sean facts, I will make that shirt and I will send you one for free. How's that? Because you got to do the work.
I think there was only 5 or something. I don't think we've had that many Shawn facts in the span of
Sean's
these
getting a little
2.5
sheepish now.
years.
He's hoping there's not more. Sean doesn't love the Sean facts as much as other people love the
But
Sean
it is hilarious when it happens. It's very funny when it happens.
But listen, Tom, you go back, you listen, you give me the list. I will put it on a design. I'll put it on a shirt. You send your address and you will get that shirt.
He says, I fucking love you both so much. I love looking forward to spending every Monday with you guys. Truly like hanging out with my friends every time I listen. Thank you for the awesome pod. Fantastic content every single week. Best goddamn pod out there always and forever. Make mine madness. Love, Tom. We love you, Tom. Thank you for your constant contributions into the mail sack. I find it hilarious that out of the hundreds of millions of emails that we get, we're constantly pulling yours out of the mail sack. So thank you for your contributions, Tom. We got another. Was there anything you wanted to add to that, Vertebrae, for Escape from New York, Gnarly Bits?
No, that was great. There were a few. I've been trying to like pick and choose a little more because I feel like when I go back and listen to the episodes, I don't want to bog down your rhythm of going through it. So there's certain ones that I kind of pick and choose, and then I think like, oh, I'll talk about that later at the end, and then I don't get to it. So, but I did not know anything about the 5 people that said, I thought you were dead, ended up dying, and that's very, very cool.
Brilliant. We got another email in the mail sack. We got Jason Blankenship. Oh, this is pretty much as long as Tom's was. 6 Degrees of Dracula, not Span, he says.
Fantastic.
Good day, gentlemen. First, thank you for the shout out during the Long Legs Part 2. I was just thinking that we have been Dracula adjacent since you finished the Ninja Turtles episode back in February. Wow, we have.
Mhm.
Following that episode, you guys covered Hellboy. I didn't watch it, but listening to Vertebrae talk about how there is a journey through Carpathian Mountain Borgo Pass, I thought, oh, John Harker did that in Dracula 92. So that is also Dracula adjacent. Then you
Yeah.
guys went into Nosferatu, which of course is just Dracula. Now we're into Longlegs. It of course is character named Harker, and Nick Cage, who was Dracula in the movie Renfield. You have Nick Holt, who of course was in Nosferatu. So as you guys mentioned, everything is full circle. I just didn't know if you guys had realized how long you have been in Dracula lore, or at least Dracula adjacent. I know you guys do your own thing and you don't take requests, but at this point, I figure you have to do something lighthearted and borderline silly to break the Dracula vampire themes that have
Oh.
been going on. We were just discussing our next voting poll, actually.
Mhm.
Maybe you could cover, oh, he offers the Naked Gun trilogy as a
Mm.
0.5. They're called Inside Madness now, Jason. This is a lighthearted and it's getting a sequel reboot. That's right. I did see they are
It
rebooting
is?
Naked Gun. Yeah. I mean, Leslie, you
I don't know about
can't
this.
top Leslie Nielsen. He
It's
is
gonna be just as good as that Crow. Did you watch that Crow movie? Because I didn't see it.
no, I haven't yet. I haven't yet.
Okay.
He says, wait, never mind. Naked Gun movie stars Leslie Nielsen. Oh, and and he says, and Leslie Nielsen was Dracula in Mel Brooks' Dracula Dead and Loving.
Yeah. Oh man.
He says everything is a few degrees away from Dracula. You can't get away from it. Sorry for another long one. Also, it thinks that Ellen, Lily Rose Depp, is only partially psychic because Orlok came to her. It's his supernatural power that bonded to her because he answered her prayer.
Hmm.
That is why she's only partially psychic. She's not predicting sports and weather or stock market ups and downs. She's only somewhat tapped into things that involve those close to her and Orlok.
Hmm.
I did really enjoy everything about Nosferatu, including its Midnight Mass ending. Go see Midnight Mass if you haven't already. I think I did watch that on Netflix. You will know what I mean.
Hmm.
I think that was like a pandemic watch, so I would just kind of like blindly flew through it and a million other things. Also, go watch the movie What We Do in the Shadows. You'll probably enjoy it. Thanks for taking the time to read this. Your friend Jason Blankenship from Cincinnati. Thank you, Jason.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That is very cool. Thank you for writing in. We appreciate it. So write in, send us a voicemail. We'll put it on. We'll talk about it, quiz us. We'll see. This is off the top of our head. We're not going to stop this. So if we get it wrong or we can't remember it, it is what it is.
So we've already escaped from the Dracula realm with Escape from New York.
Mm-hmm.
There is no Dracula in our next movie, but boy, am I excited about it.
Yeah.
So we can. Do you have everything? Do you have everything for our Inside
So
Madness episode?
just one other thing I wanted to add, and I wanted to give a shout out to our buddies at Mischief Toys, who just recently dropped a really cool Guar toy that they did, which was a character, their Ghastly character in Guar form, and that was done with the band. This is their first like licensed product, and I'll have some stuff coming up with them. We'll have some stuff at New York Comic Con with them as well. I'm not giving anything away, I hope, but I will be working with them more in the future. But I just thought that was really cool. We're hoping to have Chris and Heather back on the podcast soon. Maybe we could talk about this Guar toy a little bit and how this came about. But very cool. Congrats to them. Go check out Mischief Toys whenever you get a chance.
Hell yeah! And with that, we shall wrap up our Inside Madness episode. Make sure you follow us on all the socials at In Madness Pod, or hit us in the mail sack and we will read your emails. Ask us anything you want about any of our episodes, or perhaps give us some extra ideas like our fellows Jason and Tom recently did. inmadnesspod@gmail.com. We're on YouTube. Check out the In Madness Spotify playlist. I just saw Guar this past weekend in the middle of the Daytona International Speedway. Welcome to Rockville. It was the hottest 4 days of my life. I could
Oh
not
boy.
believe the heat in Florida. It was so bad. And Guar was out there performing in costume in it. Like
Mm.
it's ungodly what the guys do. And they were playing Gorgor, which is the big dinosaur, and they had the big dinosaur out on stage with them. So I love Guar. We already have a couple of Guar songs on the In Madness Spotify playlist. I'm going to add Gorgor because I love that Guar song. That is also on the In Madness Spotify playlist. Make sure you get a shirt or a mug at inmadness.com. The link for everything is in the description of any one of these shows, wherever you're listening, on Spotify, on Apple, on YouTube. We also have the Amazon thing. You want to hit that really quick, Vertebrae?
Yeah, so we do that, like they have that Amazon kind of program, affiliate program or whatever. So I signed up for it as a way to kind of, I mean, I'm going to put the links in there anyway, but if you want to support the podcast, if you buy something from there from that link, it supports, could help us. But the thing is with it is I'm only putting things in there, Shawn, that are attributed to this episode. So if it's Escape from New York, in the notes, you can buy the book that I talked about, the making of, or if you want to get the 4K of it, it's there. If they happen to be a vinyl soundtrack that's available on Amazon, I'll post that as well. I mean, I'm going to post other links to book places and authors and stuff in the future, but this program's a way, could be a good way to help support us. I know we have talked about a Patreon for a while, and I feel like we have to move the goalposts on that a little bit. And I don't think that's going to happen as soon as we'd want it to, because the timing and time in our lives has just bogged down to not having as much free time to do this as we can. So the idea of adding another episode, which is what we want to do if we're going to do a Patreon, give more content to people, is probably not a possibility. So maybe we do like an outtakes one. Shawn caught me posting an outtake from one of the episodes.
Fucking Vertebrae freak out.
Yeah, that was a freak out. Boy,
That was good. Vertebrae trying to set his shit up. That should be an episode right there.
Yeah, I love that my freak out didn't even sound like that freaky, but
No, it kind of sounded like a regular episode, to be totally honest.
But awesome. So anyway, if you want to support us in that way, you can. I don't know what the percentage is or how that works or whatever, but I certainly always want people to be into what I get so into these movies. That's how the podcast started, that I want to have that. I want to have the record. I want to have the book. If there's a book, I want to buy it on 4K. I want to own it. So I'm trying to find ways to help other people do that as well.
With that, do you have one teaser for next week's movie we have handpicked? The movie after this movie will be picked by the In Madness psychopaths in our In Madness family. But for now, do you have one teaser for our next movie? I have one. I wanted if you have anything, whatever comes to your mind, without giving it away.
All right. Oh, well.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's perfect. I was just going to say Scary Girl in the Closet.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, well is really good. It's really good. All right. With that, my friends, thank you for listening. Thank you so much for your listening and for your participation and your support. Everything you're doing, we greatly appreciate it. We work really hard, and we want this to be as entertaining for you as it is for us. I love having these meetings. I love reviewing these movies, and I can't wait to do even more. Oh, well, we'll see you next week.